The first thing that drew me in was the music. Calm, relaxing, atmospheric, playful, hopeful, a crescendo of power and intrigue, a cascade down like droplets of water settling on the ground, gentle. From the moment you launch this game for the first time, it's already inviting you in. The Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood is about many things: isolation, self-discovery, relationships with others, curiosity. The list could go on, but ultimately, it's not my goal to play this game for you. My goal is to engage you and show why I think this game is something you should experience. The fun designs for characters and music aside, what matters most in a game is the actual gameplay, so let's explore that. Sisterhood plays like a visual novel where the focus is interaction with characters with unique personalities and relationships to the player character Fortuna. Some characters Fortuna has known but not been in touch with for 2 centuries. Some characters you meet at the same time Fortuna does in the story. Sisterhood, at its core, is about divination magic. Fortuna used to use tarot cards to answer the questions of her querents, but was stripped of her cards and forced into exile by the leader of her coven before the start of the game. Now, it's up to her, and by extension you, to create new cards with unique meanings for divination. There are 3 parts to a card: the sphere, or background, the arcane, or subject, and the symbol, or the item for the subject. Each part of the card is imbued with different types of energies. There are 4: water, earth, fire, air. These 4 elements have different associated meanings. The game goes more in depth with this during card creation. You then take these cards that you create and use them in your rituals. Over the course of the game, you meet different witches and cosmic entities who seek guidance. The job of a diviner, or oracle, is to provide answers to querents based on the cards they draw from their deck. Please keep in mind that I may get certain details wrong. This is stuff people engage with in real life, and I know nothing about the intricacies of this world or terminology. Oracles, to my knowledge, can use any number of different means for divination, but Fortuna uses cards. There's a minor hitch in Fortuna's process, though. This point right here will be the spoiler warning for the video. The music, art, and everything you've witnessed is what you can expect if you get the Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood. I personally got the game on Steam along with the soundtrack and digital art book. If you don't mind spoilers, feel free to continue. The plot twist is that Fortuna isn't reading and interpreting fate. She's literally creating it. The cards you pull and use in a given reading determine what will or has happened. For example, if a character asks you about their death, the response you tell that character is absolutely how they die or what happens surrounding their death. This creates an interesting storytelling loop where you build the story of the game as you play it. A big question in the game is the point of effort if you already know the outcome. Let's say there's an election going on for the new leader of the coven. If you divine that a particular person is going to win the election, then is there really a point in putting effort into a political campaign? That person is who will win the election later in the game, after all. Now you know the secret behind your divination. If you feel so inclined, please go check out this game. It's not a terribly long game, but I think it has a lot to say. But wait a minute. There's still how much of the video left? Well, if I'm done talking about Cosmic Wheel, then what's the rest of the video about? Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood left a lasting impression on me, if that's not already abundantly clear. I enjoyed the game's story, music, and art enough that I felt motivated to learn more about witches and divination in particular. This led me to seek out a seer in my community who engages in palmistry, the art of divination through inspecting a person's palms. We are joined here today by Miss Rachel Wyatt.
Hello.
And you are a palm reader.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about what goes into that. What can I expect in this upcoming session?
So when I do a full palm reading, I read both hands. And not only do we look at the lines on the hand, we also look at your hand size, shape, your finger sizes, the sizes of your phalanxes, the top, middle, and bottom of each finger digit, and go all into that. We even look at the bracelets on the wrist, and then we delve into what I see and the markers and symbols on your hands.
Okay.
Usually takes about 20 or 30 minutes for a full palm reading.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And we have some questions that we would like to ask you, but we will get into that later. All right?
Consent to touch your hands?
Absolutely.
Alrighty. So this is what you're born with, and this is what you do with it.
Okay.
So I start over here, and then we'll compare and contrast. So I definitely see that you got big earth hands here. We got a really big palm and hands that are about relative size to how big your palm is. So are you an earth element, earth sign, by chance?
I have no idea.
You don't know what your sign, what's your birthday?
My sign, I believe, is Sagittarius.
Oh, okay, that's fire. All right. So yeah, when we get into major lines on a palm, this is your lifeline, the curve here, and this is your headline, and this is your heart line. So, let's see here. Lifeline wise, we have a branch down here at the bottom. We've got a little island that's common in a shitty childhood. Had some difficulties early on. So, and we have a branch off to a fate line development at around 14 years old. Something crazy happened that changed your life. You decided a direction that you want to go in your life. Big island there, early teenage years. Am I hitting?
I don't know how much I should respond, but I'm actually already a little weirded out. Yes, it's been very accurate thus far.
So, yeah, we had a rough time. Didn't feel like you had a lot of family support. There might have been one main person that helped you out that might not have even been a family member. And in this island, teenage years, an island in a hand is the little circle thing here.
Oh, yeah.
That's your island. And these branches off going in different directions. You made a big decision at about 14 years old on if you were going to have a positive outlook or a negative outlook, maybe. I definitely see some depression growing up. some low self-esteem. And that also comes out in the headline up here with your branches going out. See how these almost match off of your island? There's these crosses, and then there's these crosses here. But also, branches on a headline is a good thing. It means you're open-minded. You're open to things that aren't the norm. When it comes to the way you think, when it comes to the way you have relationships, you're unique and not traditional, I see. And also, when it comes to communication, now that I've gotten through some of these lines, I'll look at mounts, and mounts are the bumps below your fingers and the bumps here. So this is your mount of Mars is really big, and that is communication and expressing yourself. And I bet when I go over here, I mean, since you're a film student, it's pretty obvious that your communication mount and your communication finger, this finger right here, Mercury, is going to be really a big part of your hand. With some people's pinkies, it's really tiny. Yours are about as big as your other fingers. So that's very significant with your Mercury finger. It means you like communication and studying the way people talk. You might like sociology, anthropology, history. You're interested in contracts and communication that people make to get along, to live as a society. So like I said, this is Mercury finger. That's the one that stands out the most to me with your mounts. And then you have your love finger, which is Apollo. And then you have your fuck you finger, which is the middle finger. That is Saturn, I call it the fuck you finger. And then you have your Jupiter finger, which is the do what I say, that's how I said it finger, the leadership finger. So in relation to your Mercury finger and how much it stands out with its mounts, I'm seeing big stuff happening with your fuck you finger and big stuff happening with your leadership finger and some stunt in love and relationships in general here. When it comes to leadership and that's the way I said it finger, in the middle here we have an island. So on these digits or the dividers here, this is spirit, this is mind, this is body. Because you have an island on your mind part when it comes to this, that is your confidence level. So you were inherited or born with, this is what you came with again. You have some stagnation and some hesitancy when it comes to expressing yourself. Have some stagnation and hesitancy when it comes to thinking that the things you're saying are coming out right. You've been misunderstood before. And then in the fuck you finger, it is really well developed. It is really, it's not a conical finger that's like tapered. You're thick here. So you definitely, and I think it comes from these difficulties growing up. You taught yourself how to stick up for yourself and the methods that were good for you to be your own friend, I see. So let's see what we've developed as you've grown up from this.
Gotcha. I don't super know the best way to...
Oh, you're good. Let's see what we have with what you've done with it. Like I said, this is what you're born with, and this is what you do with it. So, yeah. Major branch in Lifeline. Compared to over here, you see how solid this is? So you made changes for yourself in your life with no support. I see. That, did you parent yourself? Like, Are you a foster kid? What am I seeing here?
No, I was, well, for a long time, I was the child of a single mother.
Okay.
However, my mom did remarry later in life.
Okay. Yeah, I see that it was rough.
Some parts have been cut for privacy. Please forgive this.
The bumpiness here, that's real pronounced. How this isn't just flat. That's old soul mount.
Ah.
So the fact that this is so raised up right here, you've been around.
So I can tell people
cool
that
stuff.
I just have a lot of baggage.
Yeah, from your past lives. Just blame it all on that. Totally not advice I give as a palm reader. But yeah, with this difficult childhood, teenage years, feeling like you're not understood, the headline again has this branch right here that's really pronounced. See how they match?
Yeah.
So I see again that is a crossroads for you, where you've made decisions in your teenage years that were more mature than what most people would do. You factor in, because there's a connection between your head and your heart line here, you factor in your decisions with your feelings and logic. When it comes to will and logic in general, this is willpower and this is logic, and this lower part of your thumb is a lot bigger than the upper part. So you're not a risk taker, and you weren't a risk taker when you were younger, is what I see. But you were kind of the kid that if everybody was acting stupid, you were standing in the back with your arms crossed ready to laugh at them. I see that.
That is painfully accurate.
You would watch the risk takers and the spontaneous people so you could make fun of them after the fact. So, yeah. And when it comes to friendliness, that is a major thing that's coming out here. You love, you have a lot of empathy for people, and I think it's because of the shit that's happened to you, and you don't want other people to be treated that way because of all these crosses here. All these little cross hatchings on the heart line is stuff that hurts you, stuff that hurts your feelings. Yeah. And I even have my little magnifying glass that I can use. Then it's like X all through this heart line here. So I see the roughness, but I also see the softness in you. The combination of that has been difficult for you because you're leaning towards fuck you finger here with heartline, but you're also got your head in there too. So sometimes it is hard for you to not speak up when you know it's inappropriate. Sometimes it's hard for you to hold back because you have felt not heard before when you were younger, and now you have gained confidence in yourself and you want to be heard. Sometimes you end up embarrassing yourself because of that in some situations. What questions do you have? Anything specific?
What sorts of questions can I really even ask?
We can look at money, fate, relationships.
I think it would be interesting to do fate and relationships.
Okay. Well, like I said, there's all these crosses here. But I think this uptick situation, 26, how old are you now?
26.
Okay, so you're 26 now. I should just go with it when I get it popped into my head, I swear. So at 26 right now, we're seeing some upticks towards the love line. So here we are at 26. And here we have some lines going up here. So we're branching out. We're trying. But right below it here, you have the branch off from your headline. So we're trying to explore the direction you're going to take. Are you going to look for something serious right now because you're 26 and almost 30, or am I going to be casual and date around? Which one do I want is what I see. There's some debate.
Okay.
And it's happy. I definitely see some fun in the future. Yep. And when it comes to your headline, this is very good that it's in here so deep. You have had some figuring out. You have had some, I don't know who I am, I need to stick up for myself, I need to stand up for myself, I'm a good person and I'm going to put myself out there. And you're set in that now. You're going to make an impact because you feel like that's your purpose. You have an idea at 26 of where you want to go, and I see you with a lot of determination and willpower with that, up to stubbornness. Okay, you're really stubborn. And that's a good thing. And like in all of this, I'm not gonna, the type of palm reading I do is definitely not your traditional fair palm reading. I'm not gonna tell you, oh, stay away, beware the headless horseman, you're gonna die on this day. Like, nothing like that. I don't go there, and I also don't go into marriages and kids, because when it comes to marriage lines and kids lines, it can also represent significant relationships that might not even be a kid. Like, it could be a really good relationship with a nephew and still show up as a children line.
That sort of older person to younger person connection.
Yeah, and that is all on Mercury, pinky finger area. But I definitely see a roughness and a softness, a stubbornness and a hilariousness, very funny joyfulness that has came out of some tragic shit in teenage years. Moving down, this bracelet stands out a whole lot. Like, some people's are barely there. This is health, and this is health. The bulge is good health that needs stability. So keep it stable where you're at right now, because it's been worse before, is what I'm saying. Fate-wise, career is going to be good in the future. Number-wise, 10 years or so. So in 10 years or so, something matches up with what you're wanting to do versus how you want to make money. Because at this point, that's not been involved. You've made money in ways you have to do to support yourself. At about 36, 40, you're going to actually be able to make money doing what you want to do.
Nice.
So that's exciting. Yeah. And this is a good lifeline. It curves all the way around here. Yeah. Good and healthy when it comes to head. Because you've conquered something in the past when it comes to your head. Depression, anxiety, something like that. As far as these fingers, yeah, I see an island in your fuck you finger. And again, is that where we saw the island over here?
I believe.
It might have been in Jupiter. Jupiter and Saturn have islands here. And that is just some blockages that you've experienced when it comes to sticking up for yourself and making your opinion known. And I think being an ally seems to be an important thing to you, or representing minority cultures, not going with the flow when it comes to politics. Definitely not a rebel, but you're not afraid to be unique and to be yourself. I think I see a Ring of Solomon. Yeah, curving around. That's a rare mark. Ring of Solomon is a wise person, someone that can be into history and studying. Once you get obsessed with something, do you fixate sometimes on a certain subject?
I mean, once I decide that I am going to do something, I like to know more about it, or as much about it as possible.
I definitely see you not being afraid to delve into things. Very cool palms, Jay. Thank you for letting me do a palm reading.
Yeah. So that's a palm reading.
Yeah. What'd you think?
Am
I accurate?
I'm not sure how I feel about the fact that you immediately cold opened with very accurate and very deep, kind of rooted stuff. To be fair, I really don't know what to say. Other than, I mean, I guess technically I could go into my life story, but I don't super know how I feel about doing that.
Well, that's kind of what I like about the palm readings that I'm able to give people. It's really not we're going to map out these lines, and this is your lifeline, and this is your heart line, this is your fate line. Okay, thanks for coming by. It's I see that we're gonna delve into this shitty childhood. I'm sorry that happened. But look here, you have immense determination and confidence that you developed from those bad experiences. It's not exactly a reading as more as it is a encouragement, a insightfulness into your own personality from a outsider point of view.
Yeah.
And I think that has really helped people. I've never had a bad palm reading. I've always had everybody come out of it with some insight on getting to know themselves a little bit better and seeing that they're going the right way with things or what they could alter.
I didn't know so much was
It's all
in the
there.
palm.
Yep.
I suppose now, if you don't mind, and the viewers don't mind, we will get into some questions.
Yeah.
So, going into this interview, I wanted to start off by asking palmistry. I feel like a lot of people have heard about it, but I don't think too many people really meet people who engage with it. How did you start getting into it?
I've just found it interesting. I'd seen it in movies growing up, like Teen Witch, and got into reading books about it. Had a pack of tarot cards that I never really got into when I was little, but it had the palm on it with the third eye on the box.
Yeah.
With all of the pattern markings on the palm on the tarot card box. And I was like, well, I'm gonna check out palm reading because I don't get how to use these cards. I never was able to figure out tarot reading, but I was just drawn to it. I was in college and doing classes on the history of the Appalachian region. So you got granny witches, folk magic, and also when it comes into that kind of thing, you have seers. You got water scryers, you got dowsing rods, you got, an almanac as a way of predicting the weather. All those interesting ways of being a SEER, doing divination, were interesting to me.
Okay. So, and palmistry in particular was something that you just really connected with.
Yeah.
Okay.
I found that after researching it, and like, because it's definitely something you have to teach yourself, there's not any like teachers or classes out there, that I just picked it up.
Would you say it's something that you either have or you don't?
I think so. I think you really have to learn the basics and then develop that connection with the person you're reading. I think when you touch someone's hand, not only are you interpreting the lines on their palm, but you're also being allowed for by that person to enter into their aura. So I might see and hear things while I'm doing the palm reading, as well as pointing out the lines. Like 26. I let numbers come, and when we did your reading, you're 26 years old.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of stuff that pops up along with just a basic palm reading. It's called intuitive palm reading.
Do you have any moments that you can think of off the top of your head where you had a negative experience?
Oh yeah. The thing that would pop up would be the guy whose palm I read, and he had witnessed a murder when he was a kid. So not only did I see that in his palms, but I had a little jolt of that when I brought it up, and he had his little jolt too. We, I think, had a connection with each other on the violence aspect of that. That energy is gonna stick with you.
Would you say that this is a great form of therapy?
Well, I wouldn't call myself a therapist or a counselor, of course, but it is what people take with them. So if they want to leave saying, oh, that was cool, that was a really awesome form of entertainment and took up 20 minutes of my time and I learned a bunch of cool stuff, that was awesome. You know, because it is entertaining as well as introspective, and that's what's awesome about it, and a lot of why I enjoy doing it. So it can be reassuring for people, and it can be heartwarming for people, and that can be a form of therapy that they've given to themselves.
Yeah.
And didn't have anything to do with me, you know.
You mentioned that there's no classes. Do you think that is something that the community would be interested in?
I don't know. And again, you have there that you have to kind of teach yourself aspect. When it comes to the basic lines and symbols, crosshatches, ladders, bridges, and all that, it's explained in a book and could be taught, but the way that you're gonna go about it, there's no step 1, step 2, step 3 when it comes to doing a full palm reading. So I think that would be hard to teach. My method is probably totally different than what someone else that palm reads does. I'm not sure. I've never actually watched another palm reader do one. I need to. But yeah, I always start with the left is what you're born with, right is what you do with it, and go from there. But I think it would be hard to teach past the basics.
Okay.
Hard to teach people to make that connection of their own with the person that they're reading. Because I aim to say what I think is most important for the person I'm reading to hear.
So, as an aside to that question, is there anything you read in my palms where you thought, that's not important?
Oh, no, nothing that I would overlook. It's just stuff that I would emphasize. Like, it's all important. All of the, from hand shape, finger length, to the basic lines. So I would never disregard anything. I just
go with what the universe tells me I should focus on.
I hope it's okay if I just rip the Band-Aid off. Are you a witch?
You're not supposed to directly ask that as a yes or no question to someone.
Okay.
So I will just say that there will be signs if you ever ask anybody that.
Okay. Well, now I'm a little scared. In order to circumnavigate that question a little bit, let me ask, and we are here in Marion, North Carolina, so there could be a diviner?
SEER? I like a SEER.
There could be a seer near you. Do you feel as though your community has a lot of representation in this area?
I think Marion is unique because we have the Bigfoot Festival. We have the Brown Mountain Lights Festival down the road, the Area 51 Aliens thing that Spruce Pine does, and I even saw some Mothmans at the Bigfoot Festival a couple weekends ago. There's a celebration of being curious about the paranormal around here. And we also have, for some reason, Broughton Hospital is like this famous haunted hospital that everybody wants to see for some reason now. I think it had something blow up on TikTok about it. I don't know. But the enthusiasm has been shocking, but amazing. And the openness to weird has been great around here. And I will be the first to admit it's weird to have someone look at the lines on your palm and figure out half of your life story in 20 minutes. But I think it's important to show that there's nothing devious about it. It's just a science is magic and magic is science kind of aspect to it.
Okay. The paranormal is unexplainable, but they have enough patterns that it's scientific in nature.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that statement?
I think so. I think it's cool that it's been able to be embraced by rural communities around here.
Pulling back a little bit, outside of North Carolina, what do you think about the paranormal being embraced on a more national scale?
I guess that's where you get iffy because it makes it less personalized. Because I think another reason that people around here like the paranormal, ghosty curiosity and embrace that is because they live around places where that activity has happened, like Brown Mountain Lights,
Yeah.
Jonas Ridge. They say the Bigfoot's on Lake James, you know. So I think it's because they're so close to where the stories happen that it's not as broad of a thing nationally, in a way.
This is obviously a very big part of who you are. Do you find that you get treated differently whenever people learn about your palm reading?
Most of the time, if I tell a coworker, like, I've got a festival coming up, and they ask what kind of festival, what do you sell, and I say I do palm readings, they're usually like, and throwing their hands out at me. Yeah, which is, I have not expected that, and it's been fun to give a coworker a palm reading on a lunch break. I mean, why not? Negative-wise, I think at a couple festivals, some people have steered away, but not said anything negative. But most of the time, people have been enthusiastic and curious, so I think that's awesome.
Oh, that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
So, I have what may be a weird question for you. Because I believe I mentioned being curious about this, and you said that you needed to look into it a little bit more. Is it possible for men or males to be witches?
Well, and what I meant by looking into it more was I have never met a male palm reader. But when it comes to that dichotomy, magic does not have a gender at all. So
Okay.
you could delve into it where there's like different groups of paganism that may be female only, like Dianic pagan. But when it comes to me and my beliefs in gender, magic is not a gender. It's neutral.
Okay.
When it comes to that, for sure. When it comes to support systems and the mountain community, when it comes to tarot readers, palm readers, people that show up to these festivals and make oils and sell herbs, they are supportive of each other to the point where I follow palm readers in Arizona, Minnesota, on Facebook and Instagram, and it's like once you follow them, they're going to follow you back, and then you're going to find other groups within a group, and the support is nice. And the having that networking is especially important in this type of work, so you know where to go and when to show up.
I mean,
To reach the most people.
That sounds wonderful. I think that's the goal of every career field, to be that interconnected.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a wonderful question that I asked. If someone has been curious up until now, and they wind up finding you here, how would you advise someone to explore this field?
Read the books. Go on thriftbooks.com and pull up palm reading books. That's what I did. I wish I had brought them with me. But yeah, read the books, delve into them, and then go from there. And be patient with it, because it's a lot. I've been doing this about 12 years or so, and I'm still learning about little marks here and there and their significance in relation to other lines, and it's just a really interesting science to get into.
Nice. And that being said, I feel like that's all the questions that I have, so do you have any questions for me?
Are you gonna tell your friends to go get their palms read?
Hey, go get your palms read. All right.
Cool. Thank
Well,
you so much.
If we wanted to find you, how would we get in touch with
Oh, I got my cards over here.
you? Anything that you would want to share online?
Oh, I have a Facebook page. It's Rae, Rae of Light Palmistry. So you can follow me on there.
Rae of Light Palmistry. You heard it here first. All right. Well, it's been wonderful having you.
Thank you.
Thank you for telling me about myself. And I can't wait for the next session.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jay.
A massive thank you to everyone who helped make this video possible. Rachel Wyatt with Rae of Light Palmistry, thank you for taking the time to sit down for an interview. If you'd like to get in touch with Rae, you can email her at raeguyot@gmail.com. Stephen and Olivia with Bigfoot Books and Brews, thank you so much for letting us record in your shop. If you are local to the Marion or Morganton areas of North Carolina, stop in and grab a book sometime. At 124 East Court Street, Marion, NC 28752. You can visit their website at bigfootbooksnc.com. And finally, All the music you heard throughout this video was made by the artist Fingerspit for the game Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood. I especially enjoyed the music for this game, and I really appreciate Fingerspit allowing me to use her music in this video. I apologize if I sound a little weird. I'm coming off a cold and recording this after finishing the rest of the video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, cheers.